Moving day had finally arrived. After months of house hunting, my wife Sarah and I had found our dream home in Maple Grove, a quiet suburban neighborhood with manicured lawns and pristine sidewalks. Sarah, still in her military fatigues from her base assignment, was helping me carry boxes from the moving truck when trouble started brewing. Mrs. Henderson from across the street had been watching us through her window curtain since dawn. At first I thought she was just a curious neighbor. But as Sarah lifted another heavy box, Mrs. Henderson marched over with the confidence of someone who believed she owned the entire street. "Excuse me," she said sharply, pointing at Sarah. "This is a respectable neighborhood. We don't allow people like that here." I felt my blood pressure rising. "People like what?" "Military personnel," she sneered. "This isn't some army base. We have standards and property values to maintain." Sarah, ever the professional, simply nodded politely and continued working. But Mrs. Henderson wasn't finished. She pulled out her phone and dialed 911, speaking loudly enough for the whole block to hear. "Yes, I need police immediately. There's a suspicious person in military clothing moving into our neighborhood. She looks threatening, and I'm concerned for our safety." 20 minutes later, a patrol car pulled up. Sheriff Martinez stepped out, a veteran officer I'd seen around town. He approached us with a neutral expression, but as soon as he saw Sarah clearly, something changed. Sarah had turned around, revealing the silver oak leaves on her collar and the multiple service ribbons on her chest. Sheriff Martinez's eyes widened slightly, then he snapped to attention and rendered a crisp salute. "Lieutenant Colonel," he said respectfully. "Sheriff Martinez, 82nd Airborne, retired. Welcome to the neighborhood, ma'am." Mrs. Henderson's face went from smug satisfaction to complete shock. Her mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. "Ma'am?" Sheriff Martinez turned to Mrs. Henderson, his tone noticeably cooler. "Calling emergency services for false reports wastes taxpayer resources. Lieutenant Colonel Thompson here has served 3 tours overseas defending the very freedoms that allow you to live safely in this neighborhood." Sarah smiled graciously. "Thank you, Sheriff. No harm done. Mrs. Henderson was just looking out for her community." As the sheriff drove away and Mrs. Henderson retreated to her house, our other neighbors began emerging with welcome gifts and helping hands. Sometimes respect has to be earned, but it should never have to be demanded. That evening, Sarah and I unpacked our new home, knowing we'd found more than just a house. We'd found our place in a community that, despite one difficult neighbor, ultimately valued service and character over prejudice.